John Fogerty is Sunday at the Strauss Center, and your Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow night. Dominic Fariello, how are you, sir? Oh, sorry, your thing's not going. There you go.
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
You look very lawyery today.
Well, I am, because I am marketing my new product. I want to show you this. I've ordered 1 million of these little suckers. I don't know. Does that
Ask the Dom bobblehead? Does that look like you?
Does it look like me?
You are clearly the Michael Scott of the lawyer
I don't know.
world.
Galvin, what do you think? John Brennan? Talk to me.
Doesn't
here.
really look like.
Does it? I got it.
No.
All right. Well,
I think they need to work on it. A little bit.
You guys are going to have a lot of Christmas gifts then.
Let me see. I think it looks like you.
You think it does? I don't know. Look at the side profile.
Well, I mean, for a bobblehead, how much can it look like?
Carmen,
it needs a little bit more of a tan, though, I think.
Yeah. Well, this is pre-cruise. This is pre-cruise bobblehead, Dom. So, but at any rate, so this is.
What are your attorney's qualifications? Well, he won an award for sexiest chest, hairiest chest, and he's got his own bobblehead.
This is what goes on Sundays when you guys aren't in studio. This is what happens.
You and A-Rod have done the same things to be famous over the last year or so. You're a bobblehead and a hairy chest.
We're both attractive. We both can play baseball. We both have big contracts. I think there's
both don't do anything in October.
Oh man, 2009.
Both take steroids. Lie about it.
But it's great to see you guys. I miss you. How you doing? All right?
Well, I'm good. We're. Do you know the band LMFAO? Do you know who they are?
Yeah.
They're one of their guys is here. He's going to come in studio. So I wasn't sure if he was coming now.
Is that
or
Party
later
Rockers in the house?
Yeah, this guy.
Everybody just have
told
a
you
good
he'd
time.
know the words.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I got it. Sure.
Guarantee you karaoke that song. Somewhere.
Listen, I'm a hip attorney. I mean, if I can do Georgia Satellites. If I can sing,
I'm pretty sure that's what he danced to the sexy shower scene to.
I don't remember that song, but it might have been. Hey, if I can hang a Pitbull toddler, I can do a variety of different things. I surprise myself.
There are little kids scarred everywhere from the Carnival cruise ship.
Why, Mommy,
that kid who died actually killed himself during our cruise.
They got drunk people. Everything was fine till that lawyer got up there.
Have you been in court? What are you doing today? What goes on?
I was in court today. In fact, there were 234 cases in a criminal docket in Hillsborough County, and 200 of them are represented by private attorneys. So I actually had to wait 2 hours. I had a meeting here at the station at 3. I didn't get here till 3:30. I was late for that meeting regarding my show, but I had to work today.
How is that going? What has been the biggest hoop to jump through for that show?
Well, we've got a great board of sponsors. We've got 4 named sponsors now, which is great. We've had live guests every week, which is nice. We've got a wide variety, too, because we've had the Sheriff's Department on, we've had a judge on, we've had attorneys on, we've had a board-certified orthopedic doctor on, and then we had a client legal funding company on, which Client Legal Funding is one of the new sponsors. We tend to have a full board of phone calls.
Good.
We had one call that came in at the 8 o'clock hour that waited 5 or 10 minutes until the 9 o'clock show started.
Nice.
That was this past week, which was great. So I'm very thankful because, the show is about the folks calling in.
Yeah.
I mean, Armando and I, can fill up an hour because it flies by, especially with the commercials.
Sure.
But I don't always like to, I like to interact and engage with the callers and the listeners. And so the show is about a lot of the callers.
And like I always tell you, not only the best legal advice, but honest stuff, not stuff that lawyer wants to tell you so he can make money off it. It's the honest opinion on what you need to do, what the process needs to be, and what your best bet is on most things. Let's take some of these phone calls right now. 727-579-1025 or 1-800-771-1025. Dan, you're the first call on with Ask the Dom. What do you got?
Hey, man. Listen, my car, I had a 2010, a newer car, and I went to a dock to see how the water was, and my car actually, the e-brake failed. The car went in the water. The cops came and actually arrested me.
Yeah, because that's the number one scam for insurance is to let your car go falling into the water.
Let me tell you, Cal, I did not push that car in the water.
I don't care either way, sir. I'm all for it if you're able to get away with it. But I'm telling you that's why.
The cops came, and they're like, oh, we have surveillance of you pushing the car in the water. And I'm like, great. If you do, can you get it to me so I can show my insurance? It'll help me because I know I didn't push the car. Well, the cop comes back, and he's like, oh, we don't really have surveillance, but we have witnesses, and that's just as good. I said, okay, fine. Then let me have a copy of the witness affidavit or whatever it is. Well, long story short, I ended up going to jail, which is no place for a white boy like me, dude. I was scared.
Never been there.
And, the cop, I knew he didn't have to take me to jail because it was a misdemeanor. Long story short, I get a letter in the mail. They did not prosecute me. Now, I'm fighting with the insurance, and I feel like I was arrested for absolutely nothing because they were picking on me because I've had surgery, and I've lost almost 200 pounds. And they're like, only a crackhead could lose 200 pounds from December.
Wow, you got a bad batch of cops out there, man. First they lied to you twice, then they're making fun of you for losing weight, and on top of that, if you didn't push your car, you just lost your goddamn car.
And they made me go in the water to get the tire that popped out of the trunk because everything opened up. They made me go in the water because the sergeant said, if you don't get that tire, I'm going to give you a littering ticket. I had to go swim in the freaking bay to go get my tire.
I would have said, give me the ticket, dummy. We'll see how it holds up in court.
Yeah, I think that when I talk with the clients or listeners, it's the law of averages. You know, sometimes you've got really cool cops, and then sometimes you got ones that aren't on the other end of the spectrum.
Heavily in favor of the cool cops. It's usually a 90-10.
Yeah, and you got to blend in between. And you got some case where you just had a bad experience with an arrest or law enforcement officer or whatever the case may be.
But in this guy's case, Dom, he got a guy. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He his car went in the water. And the cops came and they tried to scare him and say, "Oh, we saw you," and because anything you say will be used against you in court. He didn't say anything. Then they said, "Well, now we got witnesses," and he said, "No, I didn't do it." And they arrest him anyway. They put him in jail. They waste his time. They embarrass him. They do all this stuff. Now I know what you're gonna say. If you try and sue the police, they have a cap on it, which doesn't even make it worth going after them. So your best bet is just suck it up and know that you did the time to toughen you up a little bit.
And that's the thing. The state attorney's null pros is a dismissal from the state attorney's office, and not prosecute is basically what it is. So that in essence is a little vindication, although it may not feel like it. I think his next battle is with the insurance company.
Yeah. Now, and what are they saying?
Oh man, anything they can. They want bank statements, cell phone bills, anything they can. And it all started because I got arrested, so that's what cued them to do it. And now I'm fighting them, so I'm going to have to hire a lawyer for the insurance company.
While your insurance is bound, don't they have to? I mean, he paid his insurance. If his insurance is on time, they have to work for him.
Well, what they do is they do an investigation, and if they believe there's any alleged fraud or if it's been red flagged, it literally can take years. Like, for example, the listener from the cruise that won the wheelchair jousting, he had an issue where his car was stolen from the last cruise, and then there was an issue of, well, whether or not there was some wrongdoing or whatever the problem is, because we're still working through that, is a battle that lasted to the next cruise. So
what
it takes time.
What should this guy do? Have you lawyered up yet, sir? Are you prepared for that?
I have not. Yeah, I will if I have to, absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to need to spend some money for a retainer. If he wants to reach out to the office, I know that Armando, there's 2 Davids that work out of the office that deal with this type of stuff.
Hey, Dom, can I ask you a question?
Of course, that's what I'm here for.
At my employer, they actually have a legal service, like you pay bi-weekly out of my check.
Okay.
I actually signed up for it. Are those things any good? Am I going to get a decent lawyer?
Absolutely. Those are I want to say concierge lawyers is what they're sometimes referred to. I would
prepaid law.
Prepaid. If you've already paid into it, it's smart to go ahead and contact those folks, because why spend more money for another attorney? See if they can handle it. Talk with them. See if they're comfortable with their competency level, if you like them. And then if you don't, then you can contact us or somebody else. But, yeah, go that way first.
All right, good luck to you, sir, 'cause you're screwed. If you want to call he is, because he's got a battle ahead of him.
He does have a battle. I'm more optimistic. But that's why.
I still think he pushes the car in the water.
Well, yeah, probably.
813-251-5550 or askthedom.com.
In the way that he said it, he goes, Cal, I'm telling you right now, I didn't push my car.
Right.
Somebody else did.
Yeah. You didn't lose. What would your car doing so close? Listen, maybe you didn't, sir. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the obvious seems to be at this point. Let's talk to Rich. Rich seems to have a hard time with the drinking and driving. Hi, Rich.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good.
Yeah, I got my 4th DUI, and my lawyer's telling me I'm not going to do any jail time, and I got to go to court on Thursday.
Why would he say that? I hope you go to jail. Why is he saying you don't?
He just says that he can make sure that I don't. I don't know. I don't understand
Why didn't you? How much jail time did you do for the first 3?
6 months on the third one.
Oh, you're going away for a while on the 4th one.
Well, they I don't know. Did they up the charge to a felony?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to be in the circuit court, which is the felony level. And I don't know. It's not important as far as who your lawyer is. I don't know what county you're in, but let me explain something to you.
Pinellas.
What you need to do is you need to talk to your lawyer before Thursday. And, the fact that your lawyer's telling you, what they're saying, you need to understand why. Why is your lawyer saying that? Is it because they've worked a deal out with the prosecutor? Is it because of the evidence? Is it because of the video? Is it because of a motion to suppress? Is it because of any other testimony, witnesses, information? You want to know what backs up that statement from the lawyer. At least I would like to.
Yeah, I'd want to know before the court date. I can tell you that.
Because if you walk in there and if it doesn't go according to plan, then you're going to be looking around at people wondering what the heck's going on. So I'm looking to say I'm going to go to jail no matter what, even no matter what he said. I don't see how I could not. Well, that's not necessarily true, sir. If your lawyer is going to file a motion to suppress or dismiss the case, or if he's worked out a deal with the prosecutor and you don't know it, or she, whoever your lawyer is, there may be something going on that you don't know, and obviously we don't know to talk about.
Have you asked the obvious question, Rich?
Yeah, I'm like, how can I not go to jail? I went done 6 months on my third one.
And what did he say?
He was just saying that, I'm telling you, you're not going to have jail time. You'll be on probation for a long time, and you'll have to do a lot of, like community service and all kinds of stuff like that. I just still don't see that.
What it sounds like to me, and this is pure speculation, it sounds like to me whoever your lawyer is has probably already spoken to the prosecutor and worked out a deal based on the facts of the case, is what it sounds like. Now, I don't know. And on Thursday, you'll find out. But trying to guess while you're calling the live show here, that would be my assessment.
Which, by the way, Rich, you sound like a nice guy, but you totally deserve to go to jail.
Oh, yeah, that's totally understandable.
Allegedly.
No, I mean,
That's not deserved.
He already did 6 months. He's got 3. He did 6 months already. It's the 4th one.
He could have been stopped unlawfully for the fourth DUI. We don't know
how many
that,
times
Cal.
Rich drove drunk home and he got away with it is what I want to know.
Oh, my
Rich,
goodness.
good luck to you.
Good luck, sir.
Bye.
When I say good luck, I mean I hope you go to jail. I just hope you don't get raped.
Well,
Thank you.
whoever his lawyer is, it sounds like perhaps they've done a fine job working out a
They
plea
got a
deal.
little Dominus Trubisky side action going on.
I hope it's not me.
Yeah.
Rich probably pushed the other guy's car into the water. Didn't even know he was too drunk.
I'm sitting here thinking my calendar for Thursday. Am I in Pinellas or
Not
not?
you,
But
not
no,
you.
I am not in Pinellas.
Chet, go ahead. You're on the Cowhead Show. What's up, Chet?
Afternoon, guys. Thanks for taking the call.
All right, buddy. What do you got?
In 2010, I applied to get my gun rights back, and I jumped through all the hoops. I did this all on my own. I jumped through all the hoops and got the charging instruments, the probation, everything I needed. And I still haven't heard anything yet. I was wondering if you have an idea maybe about how long this normally takes. And the thing that's the real clincher for me is they say, basically, don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah, that's the first sign. Whenever you hear that from a governmental entity, then you got to go to church and start praying right thereafter. To answer your question, 3 years from 2010 seems rather long, even for governmental standards with Department of Executive Clemency. So I think your next step is if you contact a law firm or the office, to inquire as to what the status is. You may have to pay a small retainer so they have the legal authority to hold themselves out as your lawyer and to see if it fell through the cracks, if the application is complete. Maybe there's something missing that they're just not communicating to you and you wouldn't know any better.
Okay. Now, at one time they told me when I made up a story, they told me it takes 4 to 5 years, first come, first serve. But I mean, this is starting to get ridiculous. Like you said,
Yeah, I don't know who
so.
I don't know who you spoke to, but in my experience doing this, 4 to 5 years, first come, first serve wouldn't
excessive.
be. Yeah, it is excessive. But then again, I'm an attorney, so when folks are represented, it tends to be a little smoother of a process.
What did you do, sir, that made you lose your rights?
believe it or not, in 1991, I was charged and was stupid and listened to a public defender, which aren't free, by the way. And I was charged with and convicted of unemployment compensation fraud.
Oh, my God. How long did you do?
I had 2 years probation, was off in one.
Yeah, and he's correct.
The sheriff, when he arrested me, said I must have really pissed somebody off because he had never even heard of the charge at that time.
Yeah, no kidding. Nobody ever gets caught for that.
There is an application fee to apply for a public defender. You have to one has to be appointed,
right?
And I know the fee's like $50 or $75. It's not astronomical, but technically they're not fee, but they're designed for the indigent, those that can't afford it.
I have time for one more. Let's try. Let's try one of my favorites. JB, go ahead. You're on with Ask the Dom. What do you got, JB?
Got a speeding ticket in Alachua County. I live in Pinellas County.
Alachua County is Gainesville.
How fast were you going, and what were you driving?
81 in a 65, and it was a rental car.
Okay.
Well, first of all, that's what you should use when you're going to speed, a rental car, especially if you got that $14 a day insurance. Drive it hard. Okay, so they give you the ticket. And what do you want to know? If you should fight it? If you have to go back there and do it?
Right. If I want to fight it, do I have to go to that county?
Well, the answer is yes, but no. That's why I like lawyers. Yes and no. If you want to find it, you can. You do have to go back to the county, but you can have an attorney go on your behalf. Now,
right.
if there are specific questions that have to be addressed to you from the judge, well, obviously you need to be there. But a lot of times with speeding, it's really, cut and dry. A lot of my clients aren't present in court when I do traffic citations. If the officer doesn't show up, we ask the court for a dismissal.
Right.
If the officer does show up, we go through a series of questions as to whether or not they have the documentation on, well, how'd they stop you? Was it calibrated? Was it laser? Was it radar? Was it pacing?
A lot of ball busting.
Yeah. and then if they have everything in order, then we just negotiate at that point a plea with the magistrate judge or the county court judge, depending on where it is. So
I got a postcard from an attorney yesterday from Alachua County because he saw in public records that I had got pulled over.
Okay.
How great is that? The postcard say, "We know you don't want to come back here. Yeah. We'll do it for you."
It'll say advertisement on the bottom. There's a couple attorneys that I know. I know that Jeff Reynolds is a good friend of mine with the ticket clinic. He's been in here. I always promote his company when I don't do out of county stuff. I don't think Armando goes that far, but I can refer this caller to Jeff probably.
Yeah, if you want to call the office, sir, they could find somebody down there for you. 813-251-5550, or you can always find them at AskTheDom.com. Dom, thank you for coming in today.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Catch Dom Sunday morning, 9 a.m. for the Ask the Dom show. Your opportunity to get through. A lot of people called today that didn't get through, including Carmen. Will you keep Chris on line 6 on hold? I'd like Dom to talk to him off the air if possible and see if we could help him out. And anybody else didn't get through, you could always do that or follow him at AskTheDom on Twitter. We shall take a quick break, and when we come back, is the guy ready from LMFAO?
Yes, he is.
Sure?
Yeah, he should be.
Sky Blue from LMFAO.
In the house tonight.
This is ridiculous. Sky Blue and Nate.
The Cowhead Show, the new 102.5, The Bone.
Yeah. Or you, whatever.
Yeah, just get his name and number. I'll call him from the car.
Okay.
On the way out because we got the folks coming in.
Okay.
This time I'll call him in about 10 minutes.
I like you in blue. God bless.
Oh, thank you.
I like your blue
Thank you.
jacket.
Matches my boxers. Thanks, Cal, for all the promos and spots for Sunday.
Sorry that we ran out of time today. It did not use the phone number. So,
How we doing? You right? How are you doing?
Oh, there he is.
I think that makes you look more like a realtor than a lawyer.
Well, this is my own clothing line. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it says Dominic Fariello.
You make that in your basement.
Going in my own clothing. This year.